Robert F. Kennedy Jr. often goes it alone, splitting with family and Democratic orthodoxy at times. But in 2024, millions of Americans are supporting his independent run for the White House as he goes it alone. He's eating into the Biden-Trump lead and getting some bite back in the process. Here's more of our wide-ranging interview. By the way, again, nothing off limits, including a major rift in the Kennedy clan and how he plans to patch it up. Mr. Kennedy, you've taken some controversial stances on kids and healthcare in the past, and I want to read something you posted on X recently. Quote, "Minors cannot drive, vote, join the army, get a tattoo, smoke, or drink because we know that children do not fully understand the consequences of decisions with lifelong ramifications." You continue, "I don't think children can genuinely consent to repurposed castration drugs, puberty blockers, and surgical mutilation, which have permanent irreversible effects. People with gender dysphoria or who want to change their gender deserve compassion and respect," you say, "but these terribly consequential procedures should be deferred till adulthood. We must protect our children." If you were president, would you want that to be the federal standard? Would you work to make that the federal standard? 18 years old before you can have puberty blockers, hormones, surgery.
Yeah, I think that, and I was heavily influenced by this report that just came out in the UK that looked at the consequences of, that first of all looked at the previous science and showed that it was contrived and really paid for and bought.
You're talking about the CAS review in the UK?
By the pharmaceutical industry, which is making a huge profit on these, procedures and on the puberty blocking drugs. It's their big profit center. And at the earlier reports that we were all looking at that said that the results were beneficial, that children who had undergone these were largely happy, that they turned out to be almost all catastrophically wrong. And that the consequences of these, that many, many people are remorseful. And many kids who get these procedures don't appreciate the losses that they're going to suffer, and that they're years later, they're depressed, they're remorseful, and in some cases suffer mental illness because of it. So I don't think, like I said, we don't allow kids to drink, we don't allow them to drive, and to make these kind of consequential decisions before you're 18. I would say people who make those decisions afterwards, people who have these kind of gender confusions should be supported, they should be respected, they should never be bullied, and we should make every effort to treat them with compassion and understanding, but I don't think these are a good idea.
Okay. I'm sure that we'll get some feedback on the studies that you referenced. I mean, in real time, I can't confirm or refute any of that, but it's an important conversation people are having. The Kennedy clan, it's a proper noun in America. It's an institution in America, but you're also a family. And as I was talking to some people about doing this interview, a lot of people felt sad about what they are seeing in your family happen right now. How do you go about patching that up?
Well, I don't carry around resentments. Resentments are like swallowing poison and hoping someone else will die. So I think they're corrosive, and I don't do that. I love my family. We come from a milieu where we were encouraged to debate each other, to differ with each other, to debate with passion, with good information, but also at the end of the debate, to love each other. And I wish that, my country could do the same thing. I wish that we could all, the Republicans and Democrats could argue vigorously, which happened a lot when I was a kid.
But at Christmas time, I mean, we all go home to family. We all want to be surrounded by that warmth. It clearly is so important to the Kennedys. We all know about your family.
Yeah, and I would say this also, I'd point this out, that many family members are supporting me very strongly. My cousin Anthony Shriver was on the Today Show 2 days ago. He's working in my campaign, and he's one of the real leaders in my family, and he's been very, very, several of the Shriver family. Cotto Shriver was until recently running youth outreach for my campaign. I got a lot of my own kids and their cousins working on the campaign and supporting me. But I was home. Well, I went skiing with many of my siblings who were opposing me over Christmas, and we ate
call,
together.
text.
I don't. I'm not walking around with anger, resentments at anybody.
Okay.
People are entitled to their opinion.
Okay.
A lot of them just differ with me on issues. They differ with me on, I'd say the seminal issue on the war, on Ukraine, on censorship, the appropriateness of censorship, and also on our assessment of President Biden, et cetera.
Sure. So you feel like things will be okay in your family?
Of course they will.
Okay. For the audience leaving us now, your local programming is coming up next. Stick with us, scripsnews.com/TV. In 2 minutes here, more analysis of what we just heard.